We're still waiting for this news conference to take place. At that time, we expect to get a lot more information about what exactly took place, a better sense of the timeline, and potentially whether or not they believe that there's any type of evidence that could lead to a motive, give them potential insight about what would provoke someone to ram their vehicle into an access checkpoint, injuring two U.S. Capitol police officers.
Yeah, Larry, you're absolutely right. Certainly a lot of questions still that remain to be answered. One of them, Mike Valerio's reporting, just seems to have answered, but still lots more. We're waiting on that press conference. One thing that we do know for sure, we're on the west side here. We're by Constitution and First. And as we've talked about throughout the afternoon here, the seriousness of the response today and the tension that we can see in some of the law enforcement officers and the National Guards and the National Guards women. Take a look here. They are ringing the Capitol here, and the seriousness and the tension that you could feel from them was similar to what we saw on the 6th. I've been out here for 30, maybe 45 minutes around the Capitol complex. Got here originally over near where Colby was, close to that fountain. When we got there, there was 2 guards people, 1 police officer at that intersection there near C and Delaware. And the Capitol police officer, you could tell, she was working her phone, she was working her radio, trying to do a lot of what we seem to be doing. She was kind of on the further edges of the coverage there, and was trying to answer some questions for herself. Obviously, the response gotten much heavier on the further perimeter out here as we get further away from the Capitol. You can see guardsmen and women, they have shields out, they have riot gear on, you can see the shin pads, the helmets, and this rings a good part of the Capitol complex. Authorities asking people to stay away from this area if you can. If you are press and you are going to be in the area, they're asking us to show our badges, but if you are at home, you're waiting for answers just like so many of us are, the best is to stay at home, stay out of this area, wait for that press conference, Larry.
Let's bring in Zach Merchant, who is live along the Capitol Force. Zach, what can you tell us?
Yeah, hey Larry, again, I just want to take a look at the response out here. So many National Guardsmen and women. We're on Constitution and First on the west side of the Capitol here, and hearing reporting from Mike and from Nathan there. One of the stark differences from January 6th is just how quickly this area, this fairly wide perimeter, has been locked down around the Capitol within roughly an hour or so of all of this news breaking. It is a very tight perimeter from our vantage point here on the west side of the Capitol. You can see again, guardsmen and women, they've got their shields out, they've got the knee pads, the shin pads, the helmets are on, and they are, if we can zoom in here, Dave, behind the lens here, but they stretch all the way around the Capitol perimeter. It took several hours. If we remember back to what happened on January 6th, it took several hours to get this kind of control of the Capitol complex. You know, like Mike and like Nathan were talking about, there likely will be more conversations about the fencing that was up in a wider perimeter around the Capitol complex and has been receding, but one thing that is clear is, compared to January 6th, this response, at least on our side, at least from what we can see here, National Guardsmen and law enforcement have locked down this complex much quicker than on the 6th.
I guess we can call that lessons learned, no doubt. Zach Merchant, thank you so much. A lot to take in here, Lorenzo, as we've been watching from our reporters